holding page 92, Zion. Okay, so he's already established that the world, any intelligent person cannot say the world came about by itself. There had to be a creator. Now he's going to discuss, is it one creator or are there multiple creators? Right? Maybe they're joint powers who contributed to existence, to bring existence into being. What is the proof that the creator is one? Whom nation is born b'derech royos. We've already verified and established the world had to have a creator. Now we have to investigate. Is the creator one or more than one? And when we speak he's one, you're able to understand the concept of unity on 7 levels. He says, the first argument is drawn from examining the causes of existing things. When we consider these causes, we find they are fewer than their effects. I'm not sure what this means. You look for the causes of what exists. The causes of these are still fewer. The cause is always less. What causes is less than the effect, than what affects. And he says, and if you go even higher up, well, it's logical. He says, if you follow this logic, which is not, he says, everything is, there's cause and effect. What affects things? So he says, whatever affects is always less than what's affected. So when I go back to what affected something that affects something, what affected that? If we say, if you follow this principle, that the cause is always less, what it affects is greater. So ultimately, if you go back to the very beginning, it becomes less till you come, it's one. That's what he's saying. First of all, why the cause is always less than, maybe it's the same. Cause and effect. You have one person, you have one child. Right? So there's cause and effect. I understand, but what do you have to say? You say, whatever causes something else, the cause is less than what the effect is. What is affected. I mean, let's say human being, we do things. You're one person, but we do, throughout life, we do multiple things. So the effect of our being is much greater than what we are, at least in the quantitative sense. I'm not saying in value, right? Okay. He says, human beings are in an unlimited number, relatively speaking. And he says, and you reflect on the species which comprise them. What was he? כי כל מין מן המינים כל אישים רבים והמינים יש תכלס מספורן וכאשר נערוך המינים אל סוגיהם הקודם עושם when he's let us elaborate individual things that are innumerable. When he says כי אישי הנמצאים, he doesn't mean human beings. כי אישי הנמצאים אין תכלס מספורם. if you look at individual things, almost relative infinite. How many granules of sand are in the world? Right? How many plants are there? How many stones are there? But when we start talking about classifications, categories, you have the plant kingdom, you have the living kingdom, you have the inanimate, you have different things. And then we start analyzing even that. There's certain types of plants. There's certain types of that. You have domesticated animals, you have that. You have reptiles, and you have this. I mean, right? Then we speak of the species among the living. So when you start categorizing them, they become less. You talk about the individual identity, it's endless. Identifying each individual aspect of existence. But once you start going to classifications, it becomes less. You have the classification, but what's included in the classification is much more than what the classification is. Each classification includes within it endless numbers. And we speak about the classifications. There is a limitation to the number, I mean within reason. When you evaluate the species according to their classification, right? We'll talk about, let's say, birds. Within birds, they're families. So you talk about birds. So the birds, now we talk about the families of the birds. There's this type of bird and there's that kind of bird. But as you become more generalize the classification, there are less classifications, correct? Let's talk about families of birds. You have 10,000 families of birds. Then you have predator birds, you have not predator birds. So that's already, it's less. Then we talk birds. So the classification, you have birds, okay, you have birds and you have animals and you have this and that. So now, once you become more general, you have less classifications. As you become more detail-oriented, you have many more. He says the fundamental categories are 10. Yeah. Essence, kama is quantity, ve'ech. He says, ech is what? That's quality. Umitztorif, relation. Ono, place, mosai, time, matzov, situation, kinyon, possession, poel, activity, nifo, passivity. That's classifying all of existence. Okay? The essence, the number, the quality. Mitztorif. Mitztorif doesn't mean it as a composite necessarily. It means what relevance does it have to something else? V'ona. Where's its place? Its time? Matzov. What's the situation? Kinyon. What kinyon means, he says, possession. Maybe it means that maybe that could be control. Poel, activity, vinifo, passivity. Okay. I mean, we'll see it more specific. I mean, you have certain species can only exist in their habitat. Once they're out of the habitat, they become extinct. They can't survive. Right? So seemingly that would be place. What is the place? What's kinyon? seemingly, if we're talking about possession, that has to do with a human being. I mean, what an unintelligible creature has possession, but there is possession to a degree, right? It's domain. No, possession, no. Kinyan means possession, that's acquisition. You know, animals, they have their domain. You know, they have their territory. No, one animal doesn't infringe on another's territory. They stake out their location. Read about certain species, whether it's lions or bears or wolves. They're very territorial, certain species. So that's kinyan. Even within the unintelligible creature, instinctively, they stake out their territory. What do you mean a rock? Yeah, that's place. That's where you find that kind of rock. You find a certain mineral in a certain location. Certain minerals, you understand, but it's not an acquisition, right? That's occupying. It occupies. That's not kinyan. Well, yeah, you could say there's certain types of vegetation. I mean, you know, you ever read about bamboo? You plant bamboo, you can't stop its growth. Okay, that's it. To be continued.